Welcome students, welcome to my next video. Standard 9, topic number 5, education. As we all know, education is necessary in our life. Without education, we are nothing in life. Now we will see in detail all about education, the various committees, the reforms made in education, and what are the laws made related to education. Let us see that. The first census was taken in the year 1951. And in that census, the literacy rate shown was 17%. In 1951, the literacy rate was only 17%. Then, you could see here, in 1971, it rose to 34%, 1981, 43%, 2001, 64%. Improving the percentage was a serious challenge for the government. Several remedial schemes were put in place to deal it. We will see what are those remedials. Primary education. Primary education refers to the schooling given to the children between 6 to 14 years of age. In 1988, central government started a scheme to spread primary education and to improve educational standard. It was known as Operation Blackboard. Now under Operation Blackboard, government made funds available to improve the standard of schools, to fulfill minimum educational needs such as at least 2 proper classrooms, toilets, one of the 2 teachers to be a female, blackboard, maps, laboratory, apparatus, a small library, playground, sports equipment. So these were the facilities given in Operation Blackboard, and this scheme helped the primary education system to gain some momentum. And my dear students, let me tell you, the primary education had gained momentum where people started getting primary education. Now, DPEP, District Primary Education Program, was started with an objective of universalization of primary education. It was started in the year 1994. It was implemented in 7 states, including Maharashtra. The plan was 100% attendance in the primary school, arresting school dropout, education for girls and for physically handicapped. Now let me mention about something about secondary education. When I speak about secondary education, Education Minister, our first Education Minister, Shri Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, decided to bring fundamental change in the field of education. The University Education Commission was set up for this purpose. This commission recommended the appointment of separate commission for secondary education. Accordingly, in 52-53, 1952-53, Mudaliar Commission was appointed. At that time, the pattern of education consisted of 11 plus 4 for first degree, or 11 plus 1 plus 3. My dear students, now we could see 10 standard, 10 plus 2 plus 3. But previously, according to Mudaliar Commission, in the year 1952-53, it was 11 plus 4 or 11 plus 1 plus 3. Now let us see further. The commission, what was the work of the commission? The commission studied secondary education, the nature of curriculum, medium of instruction, teaching methodology. They made certain recommendation. This commission proposed the concept of higher education. However, it was found difficult to implement it all over the country. Now, since it was quite difficult, the next commission was set up, and that commission was Kothari Commission. It was in the year 1964, and it was under the chairmanship of Dr. D.S. Kothari. Dr. J.P. Nayak made valuable contribution to the work of this commission. The commission also recommended 10 plus 2 plus 3, the pattern which we are now following it. After 10th standard, the board exam will be there for 12th. Then after 12th, the college pattern examination will be there for 2 years and final degree. You see, 10 plus 2 plus 3. This system was implemented from the year 1972. The commission suggested uniform national system of education, inclusion of mother tongue, Hindi and English in education, as well as continuing adult education, education by correspondence, and open universities to make education trickle down to the lowest rung of the society. Maharashtra government adopted 10 plus 2 plus 3 pattern in the year 1972 and conducted the first 10th standard board exam in the year 1975. What was the objective of the education according to Kothari Commission? Again I repeat, objective of education according to Kothari Commission. 1. Education and productivity. Through education, there should be productivity. Securing and strengthening of democracy. When the students they learn different various subjects, it should strengthen democracy. Modernization of education. Education should be modernized. It should not be, restricted to the gurus. The guru and the shishya, both should be on the same platform. Social and national integration. And last but not the least, nurture social, moral and spiritual values. So these were the objectives of Kothari Commission. Education in the post-independent era. After the independence, in the year 1948, central government appointed University Education Chairman, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Its function includes financial grants, the standard of the universities and their coordination, And let me tell you, Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan has made a tremendous contribution towards education. That's why we celebrate Teachers' Day in commemoration of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Now, what was the method of functioning? The Commission accepted 5-year plan method. It began to sanction, disburse grants to universities on behalf of the government. The Commission undertakes planning of university education, coordination of syllabi or syllabus, giving primary to national needs through education, planning implementation of various schemes of higher education. After the advent of television in India, it initiated countrywide classroom program, which is telecasted by Doordarshan on behalf of the Commission. Now we are all familiar with NCERT. The full form of NCERT is National Commission of Educational and Research Training. This body was established in Delhi on 1st September 1961. What was the objective of this board or this particular body? Its main objective is to help the central government in matter of school education and in the context of comprehensive policy implementing educational schemes. It played a central role in designing school curriculum and textbooks for CBSE, that is Central Board of Secondary Education. It provides guidance and cooperation in the area of primary and secondary education to the state government. The Maharashtra State Council of Educational Research and Training was established in Pune. This institute is known as Academic Authority. This brings out periodicals called Jeevan Section. Now, what is National Policy of Education? 1986. According to this policy, certain changes of the fundamental nature was brought in primary, secondary and higher secondary education, keeping in change the needs of society. Under this policy, the Common Core Curriculum was framed for all states. The expectation is that by this means, all students in India will get equal educational opportunity. The Primary Educational Curriculum 1988 was prepared on the basis of the Plan of Action designed at the national level for effective implementation of National Policy of Education 1986. Now, use of satellite. Now, as we all know that people, they get bored with the old methods. Now, our education system is such. Now, the satellites are used. In the year 1975, India met with a success in its attempt to use satellite for the purpose of education. Eknath Chitnis, a scientist with ISRO, played an important role. SITE, Satellite Instructional Television Experiment, was undertaken for educational purpose under the leadership of Space Application Center at Ahmedabad. The concept of satellite education came out of this experiment. Now, who has helped us? America has helped India in this program, and the program helped to make provision for good standard of education in rural areas. Now, we can see the primary education. Primary education is based on competency-based education curriculum. Now, this competency-based education curriculum was implemented in the year 1995. Even this primary education curriculum 1988 was being implemented by a committee which was formed at the national level with R.H. Dave as its chairman to determine minimum level of learning. The Dave committee developed a chart of minimum level of learning in language, mathematics, environmental studies up to the 5th standard. The chart shows sequence of learning of competencies meant for each class. Now we are all familiar with IGNOU. IGNOU's the full form is Indira Gandhi National Open University. It was established with an objective that the stream of education should make its way into average household of the country. United Nations declared 1970 as the year of International Education Year. The same year, the seminar was held in New Delhi on the subject of Open University by the Government of India, Department of Education and Social Welfare, Information Broadcasting, University Grant Commission along with UNESCO. They recommended IGNOU, that is Indira Gandhi National Open University. In the year 1974, government appointed a committee under the chairmanship of P. Parthasarathy. An open university took shape on 20th September 1985. It was named after Prime Minister Indira Gandhi. Those unable to get college education a formal way are given concession in eligibility, criteria, age and other conditions for the admission to this university. In 1990, IGNOU started an audiovisual distance education program through Akashvani and Doordarshan. It provides facilities for education through 58 training centers in the country and 41 centers in foreign countries. Now, Research Institute Science. In post-independence period, 1950, the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research was established with the objective to promote scientific research in the country and to take benefit of the research to all people. Research began in the field of physics, chemistry, pharmaceuticals. In order that the industry benefit from this research, contracts were signed with Industrial Institute. It helped to reduce our imports and save foreign currency. This institute also motivated fundamental research. The achievement of CSIR include making of ink for marking voters' fingers during election, medicines for malaria and tuberculosis. It also used DNA fingerprint for the first time in India. Now when I speak of mathematics, as we all know, people are disinterested in mathematics. The National Institute for Research in Mathematical and Physical Science in Tamil Nadu was established in 1962. It encouraged the highest level of research in mathematics. Computers. Now we are all familiar with computers. In 1969, the first indigenous computer was made by Indian Statistical Institute and Jadavpur University, making together the ISIJU computer. In 1974, an American contract in the area of software industry was given to Tata Consultancy. In 1988, central government established the Center of Development for Advanced Computing in Pune, and in 1991, Center under leadership of Dr. Vijay Bhatkar developed Pharma 8000 supercomputer. Now we all know about BARC, Baba Atomic Research Center. This institute has conducted valuable research in the field of nuclear physics, solid state physics, and chemical and life science. It also started a school to train scientists for setting up nuclear reactors and also to develop young scientists in India. Now, Indian Institute of Technology. We are very familiar with IIT. India's first IIT was set up in Kharagpur in West Bengal in 1951. The objective of this institute was the higher advanced education in all branches of engineering should be available made in India to meet the country's need. The college at Powai, Mumbai, Chennai, Kanpur, New Delhi were converted into IITs. Many countries helped in building these institutes. In the decade 1970-1980, large number of IIT students began to leave for foreign countries, causing brain drain crisis. This situation changed after 1990. IIT was established at Guwahati, Assam in 1994 and Roorkee in 2001. Indian Institute of Management. High quality engineering was graduating from IITs. The center and the Gujarat government started Institute of Management to mold skilled managers. Harvard Business of School in America helped to set up IIM Ahmedabad. Other IIMs are set up at Kolkata, Bengaluru, Lucknow, Kozhikode, Indore and Shillong. National Institute of Design. The institute was established in Ahmedabad in the year 1961. Purpose of imparting training in industrial design. Courses in basic designs, graphic designs, product designs, visual communication was started in the year 1963-64. This work was done in the institute including design of transistors, radios, calculators and logos of Indian Airlines and State Bank of India. Research of Institute of Medicine. In the post-independence period 1949, Indian Council of Medical Research was established for conducting research in the medical field. It was given responsibility of cooperating with universities, medical colleges, governments, non-governmental research institutes, giving them guidance and financial support for research activities. All India Institute of Medical Science was established to give further impetus advanced education research in medicine. College for undergraduate, postgraduate education in most branches of science, good research facilities and well-equipped hospitals are the significant features of the institute. For the development of medical field, Medical Council of India was reconstructed in 1958, which was entrusted to task of determining criteria and the quality of medical education, its supervision and inspection. These institutes have responsibilities of conducting research on various diseases, developing tests and standardization of medicine. Cancer research. Now we are very familiar with this cancer. The Advanced Cancer Treatment Center for Cancer Treatment Research and Education Center is a branch of Tata Memorial Center, which is in Mumbai. Its function as the National Center for Treatment, Research, Education in relation to cancer. Research Institute of Agriculture. The Indian Agriculture Research Institute was given status of university in 1958, and work began in the department such as development of agriculture sector, research, soil science. Research also began on wheat, pulses, oil seeds, and many other problems. Its most significant achievement in fundamental research, it has conducted on methods of taking multiple crops in a year, which has been a great benefit to the farmers. The institute maintains library and its head office is in Delhi, which is the biggest agricultural related library in the country. Thank you, my dear students, for your patient hearing.